What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with the beginner guitar tutorial for Call You Mine by the Chainsmokers and Bebe Rexha. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know down in the comments below what are the songs by the Chainsmokers or Bebe Rexha that you want to learn on guitar. Guys, the first thing that you want to know for Call You Mine is that we're going to be in standard tuning and we are not going to need a capo to play this song. The next thing you want to know for Call You Mine is the structure of this song. We're going to start out with a verse, then go to pre-chorus, then chorus, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus again. Then we're going to do another pre-chorus, and then we're going to finish up with one last chorus to take us out of the song. And the last thing you want to know before we dive into Call You Mine is the 7 chords that we need to play this song. The first one is C. The next one is D. The next one is E minor. The next one is G. The next one is D over F sharp. The next one is B minor 7, and the last one is A. And I'll have chord charts for all of those in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into Call You Mine. Man, I dig this song. I love the Chainsmokers, and this is a cool vibe, and I'm digging Bebe Rexha in this too. Her voice is incredible. This is a cool song, and it's a lot of fun to play. So with that in mind, let's take a look at this. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is our verse. For our verse, we actually have 2 different things that we can play. We can play the picking pattern, which is my favorite way to play this, so we're going to cover that first. But I'm also going to cover a chord progression and the strum pattern that we can use for this as well. Like I said, I kind of prefer playing the picking pattern on this whenever I run through it myself, just because it's fun. I think it sounds cool, and it's just something different, right? It's not just chords and a strum pattern. So it's pretty fun to play. It's pretty easy as well. So we're going to take a look at that little picking pattern first. So for this picking pattern, we're going to start up here on 9th fret of the D string and 7th fret of the high E string. This entire picking pattern is going to be all on the D string and high E string, and it's all pretty much going to be this same shape, just moved up and down the fretboard. So we're going to start here. We're going to pick those 2 together, and we're going to slide it down all the way down here where we're going to have an open high E and a second on D. We're going to pick that together. We're going to let that hang for just a second. Then we're going to go back up here to this 9th on D, 7th high E. We're going to pick that again. And we're going to slide this same shape again down here to 5th D, 3rd high E, and pick that. Hang on that for just a short time, and then we're going to go down 1 fret, same shape, down 1 fret. We're going to go 4th D, 2nd high E, and pick that, and we're going to let that hang out for just a second. And that is it, guys. That's the whole picking pattern, and that just repeats throughout the verses. So, like I said, guys, I'm going to run through that a couple of times. I'm going to run through it slowly first so you can really grasp it and make sure that you got the parts just right. Then I'll run through it a couple of times full speed after that. And then after that, I'll give you some chords that you can do if you don't want to play this picking part for the verses, or if you're doing an acoustic cover or something like that. So, first, a couple of times slowly through this picking pattern will look about like this. And a couple of times full speed through the verse picking pattern that'll play through Call You Mine will look about like this. And guys, that'll bring us into our chord progression and strum pattern that we can use for verse if we don't want to play that picking pattern. The chord progression we can use for that is going to be this. It's going to be C, C again, E minor, and D. And the strum pattern that I'm using for this is going to be this. It's going to be down, down, up, down, down, up, down for each chord. So with that chord progression, kind of walking through that strum pattern, it'll look about like this. We'll go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 just about like that. Like I said, I actually think it's a lot cooler to play the little picking pattern thing, but it is totally up to you guys. I could definitely see people wanting to do like an acoustic cover of this song and be able to kind of plug those chords in and strum patterns rather than doing that picking pattern by itself would probably sound a lot better if you're doing a cover of this. So guys, with all that in mind, a couple of times through that verse, chord progression and strum pattern will look about like this. And from there, guys, we're into pre-chorus. Now, pre-chorus, there's kind of a lot of moving parts. It's not super challenging, but there's just kind of a lot to remember. So with that in mind, let's take a look at our chord progression. Our chord progression for pre-chorus is going to be this. We're going to start with a C, and then D, E minor, G, and D over F sharp. And then the next line, we've got C, D, B minor 7, and then E minor. And that's our chord progression, and then we're going to have a little picking thing that's going to play after that E minor, but we'll get there in just a second. So our strum pattern for this is going to be a single down strum for each chord. And you'll notice on some of those chords there's a star next to the chord. What that star means is that those chords are going to be played for half a measure. If you don't know what half a measure means, that's basically just we're playing those chords for half as long as we play the other chords that are not starred. So let's kind of walk through that and break that down. So we're going to start here with a C chord. We're going to go C, D, E minor, and then we've got our first starred chord. We're going to go G, and then quickly to D over F sharp, and then back to C for that second line. We got C, and we're going to go to D, and then quickly to B minor 7, and then E minor, and we're going to let that E minor ring out, and then we've got a little picking pattern that's going to play after that E minor. So after that E minor hangs out, we're going to do this little picking pattern here, and it's going to be really similar to what we did for the verses. We're going to start up here on 9th fret on the D string, 7th on the high E, and we're just going to get this shape, and we're going to walk it down that way, and I'll tell you what each of the kind of frets we land on that walk down are. So we're going to start here on 9th and 7th, we're going to pick those together, and then we're going to go to 7th and 5th, so 7th on the D, 5th on the high E, pick that one. We're going to go to 5th on the D, 3rd on the high E, and then we're going to go down 1. We're going to go to the 4th on the D, 2nd on high E, and then we're going to go to open high E and 2nd on D. And that's it, and that is going to ring out into our chorus. So that last little part there, that picking part one more time, we've got 9-7, 7-5, 5-3, 4-2, 2-0. And that's our little walk down picking pattern after that E minor at the very end of pre-chorus. So guys, once all the way through that pre-chorus chord progression, like I said, it's a lot to remember. It's not super hard because we're just single down strums, but it's just kind of a lot to remember. So once all the way through that picking pattern, chord progression, the whole thing will look about like this. And guys, that will finally bring us to our last part of the song that we need to know, which is the choruses, which is good because I am almost out of daylight. So for our choruses, we're going to have two chord progressions that we're going to alternate between. The first one is going to be C, C again, E minor, and G. And then the second chord progression we're going to use is going to be C, C, A, and D. And we're just going to alternate and flip-flop back and forth between those as we play through our chorus. What we're going to be doing for strum pattern is the same strum pattern that we used for verse. So it's going to be down, down, up, down, down, up, down for each chord. So quickly a little walkthrough of what that'll look like with that strum pattern is about like this. Starting at the top line, that first C, we'll go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. Second line, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 just like that, and it'll just kind of repeat like that throughout all of our choruses. So guys, a couple of times all the way through that chorus, chord progression, and strum pattern, full speed, without me talking, will look about like this. And guys, that is everything that you need to know to play Call You Mine on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helped you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 685 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there could not be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see what song I'm jamming on today or pictures of my dog, you can hit up my Instagram story at the Groovy Guitar Dude. Link for that will be in the description below. Guys, I'm a big fan of the Chainsmokers, and I dig Bebe Rexha as well. So when I saw this song come out the other day, I was immediately just listening to it as soon as I could, and I just totally love it. It's such a cool vibe. I love the guitar for this song as well. There is actually some guitar in this song. There's some electric guitar being played, and obviously kind of the chords and the strum pattern, we're just kind of adapting that. But the cool part about this, like I said, is that in the verses, it's got that little cool picking pattern, that little thing that they do on electric guitar, which you can also do on acoustic, but it's that cool picking pattern. I like to play that. You can play the chords and strum pattern there if you want to, if you're doing a cover of this or something. It's totally up to you. I like to play that picking pattern though, and then the only tricky part about this song is that it's just a lot to remember, especially that pre-chorus. That pre-chorus is just a long chord progression. Some of those chords are played for a full measure, some are played for a half measure, and you got to remember to switch over to that picking pattern at the very end before you go into the chorus. Again, not super difficult, just kind of a lot to remember. So I would recommend like playing this along with notes. You know, if you took notes during this lesson or whatever, kind of looking at your notes while you're playing along with this. That's definitely what I had to do to kind of keep my place and remember where I was at. But other than that, this is a very beginner-friendly song. I had a lot of fun learning this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.